All right, we're live.
We're live! What's up, everybody? It is Steve Cam from nerdfitness.com coming to you from the new Nerd Fitness headquarters. Well, temporary Nerd Fitness headquarters for the next 2 weeks until I find a permanent home. But I am here in New York City. Yes, I am wearing a bedsheet. I believe Staci is also wearing a bedsheet. Staci's dog, Daddy, is wearing a toga as well.
We're on a yoga mat.
You're on the yoga mat.
We're on the yoga
You're
mat.
literally doing the toga yoga party.
Yoga Toga, yes.
Yoga Toga. I keep saying them backwards. So anyways, hey guys, you're probably wondering why we decided that having a toga party was a good idea. Ooh, I feel like there's 2 Kates and double T. But now we're back to 1 C. Oh, well, 1 C, which is good, and 1 Kate. But anyways, literally I had this idea like 4 weeks ago where I was thinking of something we could do the week of our Nerd Fitness yoga launch, which has gone so well so far. And I thought it'd be really funny if we had a yoga party and then stupid Steve accidentally showed up in a toga because I thought it was a toga party. And then I just thought it would be way better if we had a yoga toga party instead. So I invited Kate, our awesome Nerd Fitness yoga instructor, all the way from San Diego, to join us here. Staci and Staci's amazing dog, Maddie, are in Austin, and I am now in New York City. So if you are here, Staci, I think do we turn on Q&A? How do we do that? Oh, there we go.
A little.
Oh, I see. Okay, so we have some questions starting to roll in. I see a question from Sean. If you're here, give us a quick shout out. Let us know where you are watching from. I love these things because we always have people from all over the world doing amazing things and checking in from really, really fun places. So just give us a quick hey, let us know you're watching, tell us where you're watching from. Let's start with Kate. How are you doing?
Oh, Kate froze.
She going, hey, Staci, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Maddie's confused as to why she's wearing a toga. I had one on the cat a little while ago, but the toga is now here and the cat is missing. So I think she's hiding until the party is over.
That's awesome. Kate, can you hear us?
I'm here.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. Oh God.
Kate, how are things? How is life since Nerd Fitness Yoga has come out? Are you getting stopped on the streets and paparazzi following you around and things like that?
I can't even leave the house. It's ridiculous.
So who are you wearing? Tell us about your toga.
I believe this is Target brand sheets from. I don't really know. From
I'd like to say that my toga is organic.
Oh, look at you. Fancy.
Organic, that means you can eat it and you're totally fine.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, anyways, for those of you that are just rolling in, I'm Steve from Nerd Fitness. We have Kate Merrill and Staci from Nerd Fitness Yoga. Essentially, we're the 3 folks that got together way back in February and spent 4 days, something like that, filming a lot of yoga sessions, which is pretty cool. And as your questions are coming in here, we're going to start answering them. But before I do, I want to tell you guys a quick story about my first 10 minutes in New York City. So I drove up to New York from Nashville. That must have been from Baltimore. This is like 3 days ago. 2 days ago now, so sorry, two and a half days ago. So I'm driving up from Baltimore, and I hit every toll road along the way, and I'm just laughing hysterically, like, oh, I gotta pay $10 to drive down this road and $5 to drive down this road. So I'm getting to New York City with my car full of everything that I own, and I have to take a bridge or a tunnel to get into New York City. Tunnel is $15, $14. I'm like, what a ridiculous thing to have to drive through a tunnel. I feel like I have to pay a toll just to get into New York City. So I pay the $14, I go through the tunnel, I come out of the tunnel, I make a left turn, I make a right turn, and I'm driving down one of the avenues one way, and I end up in a right turn only lane. So I'm like, oh, all right, well, I'll just turn around and go right. Unfortunately, I picked the lane that sends me right back through the tunnel, so I had to go back across the tunnel outside of New York City and then turn right back around immediately and pay another $14 to get back into New York. So before I had done literally anything, I had already spent $28 to the great city of New York City. So once I got here, I was like, at least I'm all set up with my Airbnb. I should be all set for 2 weeks. and then the Airbnb guy never showed up. So I had to book a hotel, find a new Airbnb, which I'm currently sitting in. So unfortunately, the first 24 hours of New York wasn't amazing, but the past 48 have been freaking awesome. I'm now in a great apartment with a very comfortable bed and great sheets, one of which I am now currently wearing. It only took me about 10 tries, I think, to tie this this toga. I feel really good about it now. So yeah, so that was my first 24 to 48 hours in New York City. So I see some questions coming in, and let's start giving some shout-outs. So I see Amanda from Maryland. Amanda, what's going on? I was just in Maryland 2 days ago. Crashed with my friend Brian just north of Baltimore before driving up here. I see, let's see, Christopher calling in from Illinois. He just finished his second yoga session about 10 minutes ago. Amazing.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because that means you're not sick of us yet. Like, you just watched us. Apparently, we were so inspiring, and the videos went so well that you were here, and you wanted to come hang out with us even more. So, oh, this is great. We have Gemma calling in sending in her message from Melbourne, Australia on her lunch break. Amazing. We have a huge Australian nerd fitness community. There's like a Facebook group with 100 plus people in it, which means I need to get back down to Australia and hang out. So let's see. We do have some questions here, and Kate, you'll probably be able to help with this one. So we have Sean saying, I'm 355 pounds and have very little mobility. Unfortunately, yoga certainly can help when it comes to mobility. My knees hurt when I squat down and try to stand up, and I constantly have neck and back pain. What is the best way to get started in yoga to most effectively level up? What are your thoughts, Kate?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And the thing that immediately comes to my mind first is, like, if it's painful, don't do it. Like, the whole point of, like, you know, I feel like a lot of other, like, workout modalities and training things, it's like there's this kind of like push yourself a little bit, and that's great, and yoga can be very healing in that way if we don't try and go too far. And so with that, it's like, it's almost like I think, like we said this in the intro video, it's like breathing is yoga, like coming into your breath, feeling those parts of your body, like even just noticing and like being aware of where you're uncomfortable, like some of the time, and like not even necessarily trying to do movements.
Teacher, I have a question.
What's up?
So when you just said there, I think this is really important, because as somebody that a few years ago hadn't got into yoga, hearing the phrase coming into your breath to me would have sounded like something that I would not be interested in. However, now that I've done yoga for years, now that you and I obviously have spent all this time together, I understand what you mean now. But for those people that may be watching and don't understand coming into your breath, what does that mean and why is it important?
Awesome. Yeah, so breathing, like when we breathe, when I say coming into your breath, basically what I mean by that is being aware of your inhale and exhale as the air moves through your body and where air goes and doesn't go in your body when you breathe. Because a lot of the time, like when we have areas that are tight, when we have areas where we get pain, when we have, you know, if there's movements that don't work, like breathing isn't going to fix it, but breathing is the foundation of every single movement that we do. And when we can breathe properly, which I'll explain a little bit more in a minute, that starts to signal to our bodies that it's safe to be in that space. Like it's safe to be here standing. Like it's safe to be here, like ready to take a step forward, ready to like try out a lunge, or like even just like raise your arms up over your head. And so when I say that, it's kind of like okay, pause, reset everything you've ever thought about, like what it means about to do yoga, what it means like for you to be able to move or not move the way you think you're supposed to, or the way society says you're supposed to, and just notice your inhale and your exhale. And that, it doesn't sound like it's like going to move you more toward fitness just from that, but that is such a key thing. I mean, I feel like you know, if you talk from like a power lifter stance too, like breath is important. All of it's important. Does that help with what I'm saying?
It does, yeah, absolutely. And I think it's funny because we breathe all day long and we don't think about it ever. Like it's just something if you don't do it, then you're not going to last very long. So it's something you've been doing subconsciously your entire life, and it's something we take for granted. So when we start doing yoga, and even when you start learning things like meditation, which also has a tremendous number of scientific benefits, which as a skeptic coming into both yoga and meditation years ago, like you said, you literally just stop and actually think about breathing in and breathing out. Like it makes you kind of quiets your brain down. It makes you feel a little more present instead of thinking about the future, what just happened, and blah blah blah. So I'm really glad that you made that point and said it's such a big part of yoga. So.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, go.
Because one more thing just for Sean too, and anybody else who's kind of experiencing that, you know, when it comes to like knee pain or lower back pain or neck pain, a lot of times, just because it's at least I know I used to do this when I was injured, I would try and like put myself into positions anyway because I felt like I needed to make it look a certain way, or I needed to do things a certain way. And what's really interesting is like when it's like start with your feet, start with your legs. Like when we talk about alignment in the videos, it's like maybe even just standing up and noticing, are my knees rolling in or out? Or like, are my shoulders hunched up by my ears? And before even getting into, you know, any sort of squat, like seeing if we can bring the shoulders down. See if you can stack your knees on top of your ankles. And what I mean by that is like the bones are aligned and the knees aren't rolling in or rolling out. And like start with your feet and go from there.
Yeah,
and,
so
like,
Sean, sure. Yeah. I was going to say, Sean, there are definitely some basic yoga movements that you know we've covered. I think if you sign up for the flexibility challenge, or if you do decide to join us in Nerd Fitness Yoga, yoga is great because it's a really low impact type of exercise. You know, running is very hard on your knees. If you struggle with squatting too low, then you know certain movements like a bodyweight squat or whatever might be a challenge for you. But yoga is great in that you go as far as you can. And then next time you just go a little tiny bit further, and it really helps build that flexibility, mobility. Combine that with the proper diet that we always talk about in Nerd Fitness, diet being 80% of the battle, and we can start to drop that weight for you. Your body, when it carries less weight, it doesn't have to deal with as much stress on your joints. It makes those better, which then make it easier for you to stretch further. Which it's really this cumulative effect. We were just talking about this as a company yesterday, where you know, one tiny change or one small focus can be that keystone change for people to drastically change their lives. So, Sean, I'm really glad you're here, man. Obviously, you know the deal. Like, if you have any questions, just email us, and we can certainly provide you with a little bit more information. But I'm really glad you're here listening. I hope you get something out of this. And at the end, you know, hopefully you feel like you have a great path and you have some confidence to get started with some of this stuff.
Yay.
All right, here we go. Now we get some questions rolling in. I saw there was another shout out to Australia. Oh, who's here? Dawsey. So quick shout out to Dawsey, Sean Dawes. When I did my around the world trip back in 2011, I walked off the airplane in Australia at the beginning of a 10-month trip, not knowing if I was going to have any fun or not, and I walked to the Sydney Opera House, where I met up with Sean Dawes. It was a Nerd Fitness reader, and he couldn't have been nicer. Just a really, really great guy. He's actually the guy that set up the Nerd Fitness Australia fan page. So, Sean, big shout out, dude. I appreciate you being so nice when we met up all of those years ago, and making my first day on a big trip when I was scared to hell made me feel really welcome in the country of Australia, and it gave me a lot of confidence to keep going. So.
That was adorable.
Question.
What? Did I miss something?
All right, which question do you want to go with?
Let's do.
You just slobbered all over me.
Let's give a quick shout out to Angela. Is Angela our powerlifting rebel?
Angela is a weightlifter. They are different things.
Weightlifter, excuse me, not a powerlifter. I apologize.
And yes, yes, Angela is our weightlifter.
I was double checking. I was like, okay, yes. So quick shout out from Angela, and yes, Angela, Staci's dog Maddie is in fact wearing a toga as well. We're getting things real crazy across the country. So Mike Robinson, our buddy Mike, who happens to come to all of these hangouts. Mike, I'm glad you're here, man. He said checking in with no questions. Just wanted to toss a thanks to Kate, Steve, and Staci, and the whole production crew on a grand slam. Thanks, man. Honestly, this is the most time, energy, effort, money investment that we have ever invested in anything, in any product or anything like that. If you guys check out from the sales page to the yoga product itself, from viewing it on your phone to viewing it on a tablet, on a TV, through Apple TV, whatever, we went all out on this thing, and I couldn't have been prouder with our team. Daryl is our lead designer at Nerd Fitness, and he's actually rocking a toga right now in support of of the team because Daryl's just the man. So if you guys ever get a chance to talk to Daryl from Nerd Fitness, or if you guys are coming to camp this fall, make sure you stop Daryl and say thanks for the design work. He does all the design work across the entirety of Nerd Fitness, including the great design for Nerd Fitness Yoga, the sales page, and all those great things. So let's see. Let's do the top question because I think it's a good one for you, Kate, as well. I did the water A workout, water being the beginner. So we have 3 different levels of yoga in Nerd Fitness Yoga. We have the water sessions, we have fire, and star. So a little inspired by some Nintendo games, just as the set of the Nerd Fitness Yoga studio was designed, paying homage to Super Mario as well. So the question was, I did the water A workout. It was awesome. Great job. Thank you. Go on. I had a little bit of trouble moving my foot from downward facing dog to the lunge. Any tips for those of us seriously lacking flexibility? Well, that's a good thing you bought yoga because yoga is going to improve your flexibility. But that's a great question. And Kate, what would you do for somebody that has potential foot issues with maybe lack of ankle mobility?
Yeah. Great question. There's a couple different things you can do. One is if it works for you to keep your hands down on the mat and slowly inch your foot up towards your hands, that's a possibility. Another possibility is if that's not creating enough space for you, you can always stand up or like come to your knees first and move your foot there. Really, it doesn't matter how you get your foot there as long as it ends up there in order to do the lunge. And if you want to practice building into that flexibility, it's great to kind of see like how far can my foot go right now, and then get yourself up there, and then keep practicing. Like maybe you inch it forward, like maybe it moves forward a quarter of an inch after a little bit of a time, and it goes slowly up there. But however you need to get there, that's the way to do it. And then it's like really a lot of that. It's a combination of like it can be ankle mobility, it could be hip mobility. It might just be like if there's enough space in your body to walk your foot up that way. It might be the length of your arms. Like there's so many factors that could go into why that's happening or why that's not happening for you. And part of it is as well, it's like it's practicing the movement. So it's like I would just take it step by step and day by day and get to the top of the mat however you need to. Like there's no right or wrong way to do it.
Love it. Yeah, it's all about incremental changes. For when it's strength training, it's adding 1 pound at a time or 1 rep. Mm-hmm. When it's yoga, it's fractions of an inch or an additional degree or whatever it may be that you would continue to improve. I think the biggest thing is really like just like you can't cram for, trying to cram for a test doesn't necessarily always go well. You can't really cram for flexibility. Where like if you if you did 10 hours of yoga today, but then you don't do anything for 6 months. Compared to 5 minutes every day or going through one of the yoga sessions for 20 minutes every day is going to be so much more valuable in the long run. It's just repetition, consistency, building that habit, really focusing on improving these things. You're going to see much more drastic results. So good on you for getting started, recognizing where you might be struggling a little bit, and keep going through it.
And just as some context, when I started doing yoga, I couldn't get my foot anywhere near my hands either.
I couldn't touch my toes.
But now watch this. I can put my foot behind my head. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's see it, Steve.
In a toga? Ooh, I don't know. I do like the toga though. It's got built-in air conditioning. It's kind of great.
Yeah, that's a different kind of hangout, Steve.
Oh. Yeah, that happens after 11 p.m. Totally kidding. We're not. Keep your pants on, everybody. And I actually don't have any pants on because I'm wearing a toga. So.
All right, Angela actually has a lifting question. She says, I have a weightlifting-related yoga question. I do pretty intense training 4 days a week. Would you recommend yoga on training days or my typical rest days? I would do either or, and we actually made a video, and it's, I believe we called it the yin yoga video, but it's a stretching video. And I wanted that video more than anything because I wanted something to do on my off days. It was actually like a requirement, and I bugged the entire team until they agreed to do it for me. But it's like an hour. What is it, 45 minutes? But it's just stretching and holding the poses. So that would be an awesome thing to do on your rest day. Other than that, I would probably do them on your off days because your training is pretty intense.
Yeah, I would say off days,
I believe.
Yeah, I would say off days, or if you are going to do it, I would just do it obviously after strength training. So
yeah.
so a basic mobility warm-up, and obviously, Angela, you being a weightlifter, you understand, you already actually have a warm-up routine that you already do. And the yoga is a perfect do after the strength training to help re-elongate your muscles, tendons, joints, etc. And Stacy's dog, Maddie, again, currently wearing a toga as well.
She totally agrees with you, Steve.
She completely agrees with everything you're saying.
Oh, Maddie. Stacy's dog, if you guys don't follow Stacy on Instagram, it's pretty much just photos of her dog. And her dog is the cutest thing. The dog just like sleeps upside down in weird positions, and then Stacy adds that perfect caption to it. So,
yeah.
Perfect.
And I would say one more thing to Angela too, like, what does your body tell you? Like you might do some yoga on your rest days, then you realize you're tired the next day for training, then like maybe you don't do it on the next rest day. Like experiment with your own body and what you need depending on where you're at. And it might be different week to week or day to day.
And one thing that I've struggled with a lot of yoga classes when I go to them is that it's a lot of push-ups and a lot of core work, and these yoga sessions are they're less trying to get 10 push-ups in 20 seconds like a lot of classes that I've been to. So I don't think you'll find that they really hinder your weightlifting at all.
Cool. Next, a question from our boy Staci. I actually have a question too. That's great. Again, all the way from Australia, which means we have to read the question upside down, so everybody... Sorry, kidding. Okay, question is yoga a good complement to running? And if so, are there any particular moves to focus on avoid?
Yes.
Yes. Short answer is yes. Yoga is awesome, especially to combat some of the stresses and strains of running, especially in your lower body. I think things like downward dog, any of the walking lunge. What are some of the other
runner's lunge?
Runner's lunge. Yeah, geez, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I couldn't. A complete brain fart. I was like, we had a move that we did in a lot of videos that was literally called something about running or walking and runner's lunge. So yes, Staci, and Kate can elaborate more, but yes, yoga is a perfect complement to both strength training and running because you can. It doesn't take away from one or the other. It actually complements both of them.
Yeah, and I would say quickly with that too. Runner's lunge is great. Like the low lunge where your knee is on the ground, and really like when you're in that lunge position, focusing on lengthening through your psoas, so through your hip flexor, because that's an area that gets really tight when we run. So like any of the stretches that we do that work that space, like basically from your rib cage down to the top of your quads, on the top of your thighs. There's a lot of lunges that do that, anything that like you're back bending, and as well just like the breathing with yoga, the breathing combined with the stretching is going to be great for breathing with running as well, because it kind of gets you in the rhythm of inhaling and exhaling, which it's always going to come back to that.
Always back to the breath.
Yeah. Yeah.
This might be my favorite.
There's a bunch of poses in there that are great for runners.
So yes, Staci, long story short, yes, yoga is awesome. Stretching after running is also awesome. Next question is probably my favorite question we've ever got. Why does Staci have bigger delts than you? Do you even lift? I love it so much. I do lift occasionally, but Staci's some sort of X-Men. I'm not sure specifically what her superpower is, but I'm fairly confident that she does have bones of adamantium, and I mean that's why she deadlifts 400 pounds. It's pretty awesome. So I do lift, clearly not enough. I'm getting better at it. So thank you very much for asking that really awesome question. So funny.
Which one do you want to do?
So, do you even lift? I can't think of Do You Even Lift without thinking of Dom from Bro Science and his organizational chart.
The CrossFit chart? Or the flow chart?
The flow chart. Follow the yellow brick road. Do you even lift? If you guys haven't seen it and you don't get offended easily, Google Bro Science. Do You Even Lift? It is like the funniest 6-minute video you'll ever see. Again, it's highly inappropriate, but it's awesome. Let's see. Next question. Oh, let's just quick say Sean. Sean said, "Hey, awesome guys. Thank you for the advice. See you all at Camp Nerd Fitness." That's awesome, Sean. My goal, my question, or no, not my question. My quest, my mission for Sean. He has what do we have? 6 weeks till camp now? 5 weeks?
Yeah, it's soon.
Wow. We have camp in 5 weeks. So Sean, starting today, I want you to do one thing every day between now and camp, and it could be something that's 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but try to do something between now and camp, and then at camp, I'm gonna come find you, and I'm gonna ask you how things have gone. So email us, we can talk about it, but try to do one tiny thing every day. That's a step in the right direction for you. So Sean, glad you're here, brother, and excited to see you at camp in Georgia in a few weeks. Next question, besides Nerd Fitness Yoga, can you recommend any other good yoga resources for some of us large mammalian folks out there, 6'2", 370 pounds? Mitch, I like Mitch. Mitch runs the, I don't know if he still does, because I haven't been in there in a while, the Nerd Fitness Clash of Clans crew that I had to kick myself out of because it was occupying all of my time, and I had to stop because we had to do things like yoga and this other thing that I can announce next month. So the question is, any other great yoga resources? Kate's site is a fantastic start. Kate, what are your, as our go-to yogi and Nerd Fitness yoga ambassador, what are your favorite yoga resources?
Yeah, it's funny. People have been asking this a lot lately, not surprised, and I feel like I actually need to do some research and compile a good list, because right now I don't know what my answer is for that.
Well, we can start. How about this?
Sorry.
If they go to your site, so let's think. If they go to your site and then sign up for your email list or whatever, if you do compile something, or how about this? If you do compile a list, we can share it with the Nerd Fitness community in a PS or something at some point in the next week. So we can see what else we got out there for you, Mitch. So you could be doing your downward dog while you're directing your troops in Clash of Clans.
Yeah, and I'd be happy to do that. It's been something I've been meaning to do for a while, so this might be a great excuse.
Excellent. Next.
Kirsta?
What is it?
All right. I've always had problems squaring my hips. Me too. That was the number one thing Kate yelled at me when we were filming. Are there any specific moves I can do to open my hips over time? I always feel that they're too tight, I can't even bring my knees to my chest. They're always out to the sides.
Yeah. It's like, yes, there are specific moves you can do, and the practices are designed to open up your hips like all throughout, because like we need to open up the inner hips and the outer hips and the glutes and the hip flexors, like it all kind of goes together. And in the videos, like that's like one of my main cues, is like having that, like those hips square, and like taking, when you're in a lunge or in a pyramid pose or something like that, and taking your hand, like your thumb, and like into your hip and feeling it. Like if you can look in a mirror and see it, like you can pull your hip back and kind of put your hand on your lower back and notice if it's level or not. And the thing with that is, it's like, there's no like trick that I can give you that's going to magically square your hips off. It's the same thing. It's like the incremental, like continue to practice it. Like if your alignment is right or moving toward as close to it as you can be. I'm trying not to get distracted by Maddie over there. It's really funny.
Sorry.
I'm like, hi, Puffy. But if like the closer it gets, the better. But it just comes in time. Like I could list off poses for you. It's like, like lunges, anything where you're twisting, anything where your hips have to be level. Like those are all great things to practice. And it's like it's an overtime kind of thing.
So you can't fix it with a magic wand, is what you're saying?
Yeah. God, I wish I could. That would be amazing.
Right? Everybody loves magic wands. Okay, thank you there. Let's see. Man, we do have a lot of really great questions here, and a lot of cool shout-outs. Let's see. Let's see. Staci, why don't you pick one? I'm going to scroll. You pick one of the ones towards the top, and I'll scroll down and see if I can find some other good ones, because there's like 30 questions here.
Okay. Let's do the first one, because that's at the top. I wanted to ask, I do regular martial arts training, and big focus for me is dynamic stretching and developing joint flexibility. I've never done much yoga. Are there more dynamic, energetic workouts in your program?
Wait, I'm sorry. Let's see. Big focus for me is dynamic stretching, developing joint flexibility. So yoga is, Nerd Fitness Yoga is literally it's a yoga course with yoga movements. We do have some dynamic warm-ups that come through, on regularnerdfitness.com. We talk about dynamic warm-ups and powerlifting and strength training and things like that in the Nerd Fitness Academy. So we have Nerd Fitness Yoga, which is a product. We have Nerd Fitness Academy, which is a completely separate product. And we see both of those kind of working together in unison, where you would strength train on one day, do yoga on another, if that's what you would so choose. So to be completely honest with you, it's definitely more of a traditional yoga course. It's just done in the way of the Nerd Fitness style, in that we have fun with it. We remove a lot of the stigmas, I guess, that could potentially be attached with yoga, especially if you are a skeptical nerd that prides itself on science and it's very, very analytically focused. So that's where Nerd Fitness Yoga comes in. I am proud to say that we've sold, I think we have like 1,400, something like that. Insane. Something like 1,400 people have already picked up yoga since we put it on sale for a few days last week and just a day and a half now this week, which is really, really exciting. So it does come with a 60-day complete money-back guarantee. As far as Nerd Fitness goes, like, the Academy comes with a guarantee, yoga comes with a guarantee. Like, if you try it out and you decide it's not for you, just shoot us an email and we'll give you a refund. But we've worked really hard on it. I'm really excited about it. I've honestly never seen such a positive, overwhelming response to anything we've ever put out that we have seen from yoga. It's been really cool to watch people that have never done stuff like this for the first time getting to do it for the first time and getting excited instead of discouraged, and building confidence and things like that. Okay.
She just threw a ball at me.
Just what?
She just threw a ball at me.
Love it. Okay, let's do Mary's question here. It says, "You guys, I just want to say I love yoga. Kate, I love you." Oh, look at that, Kate. She loves you.
Oh, yay!
Thank God somebody finally found out how to explain what activating your legs and root your feet actually means. Stacy, I saw you wave at your feet in the intro props. I did too. That's awesome. Yes, let's see. That Mary question was way down at the bottom, Stacy, if you're trying to find it.
I got it.
I see a question from Jennifer. Hey, I'm Jennifer. I do not have a lot of strength in my legs, and it's hard to walk sometimes. I found Nerd Fitness sometime earlier this year, and thank God, even though I cannot do too much, I have lost a lot of weight. Any suggestions to help with strength? Yes, totally. Well, you're already doing one of the best things you can do, which is take care of yourself and losing weight. Building leg strength specifically, start simple. Things like body weight squats are amazing. Assisted lunges, where you get into a split. They call it a split squat. Some people call it, an assisted lunge, where you stand with one foot forward, the other foot back, and then you slowly drop your knee while you're holding onto something for support. Is an assisted lunge. So things like squats and lunges are really fantastic. Even just going for walks. I know you said it's hard to walk sometimes. Keep track of how far that you are walking. And as your weight drops, it's going to take a lot of the pressure and stress off of your knees and your joints and ligaments, and it's going to make it a lot easier for you to continue to walk even further. So that's what we're talking about, this cumulative effect of fitness. Every time you watch, every time you make a small improvement, it really improves every other aspect of your body and your health and fitness, which then makes it even easier for you to continue down that path, and then it builds and snowballs and improves and things like that. So I would say squats and lunges are a good place to start. Also, yoga. Yoga is amazing for building strength, especially if you struggle with more complicated movements, if you're not ready to start strength training yet. You can build some serious strength when it comes to yoga, especially when you're doing really, really powerful leg movements and things like that. So Kate, if you want to talk a little bit about strength training and yoga, I know we don't dig too much into really intense powerlifting or intense power yoga moves, but yoga it's a pretty solid workout and can really help build strength down in your legs, hips, core, etc., things like that.
Yeah, and one thing I was going to say about that too.
Yep. She was going to say something.
Did we just lose her? sad.
Especially in the room, especially. Can you guys hear me? I'm back. Okay.
Oh, she's back.
Yes?
Okay,
Yes.
she's back.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Go. Okay.
Yes? I'm back. Okay, great. Okay. So we focused on integration. I'm not sure why my picture's not showing up, or why I'm not showing up, but integration of not just like muscles, but like how do your bones fit together, and how do those work with your muscles? How do those work with your tendons and ligaments, so that as you build strength, you're building strength, not just like muscular strength, but total body alignment. And that's going to help with everything. And the moves can be done, you know, there I am, hi. The moves are done like, it's incrementally, so like it might start off, you know, like you might not feel it right away, but over time, again, it's like what we were just saying, like you can build up that strength, and it's built up in a way that supports your health, that supports your body.
Boom. Love it. Gamma asking, I believe she was from, I think it was Australia. My brain is already, but she said, was sitting on the fence regarding Nerd Fitness Yoga, as I wasn't sure I could fit everything in, but you guys have inspired me to buy it right now. I wonder if she's already doing Nerd Fitness Yoga, or if she's still watching. I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know, are you doing Downward Dog at the moment, or are you still here watching us make fools of ourselves? Let's see, Angela from Rotorua, New Zealand. I've been to Rotorua, and I went mountain biking there and had an absolute blast. So New Zealand is one of my favorite countries on the planet, not just because they filmed Lord of the Rings there, but because it is gorgeous and is so active, and there's so many great things to do. So I'm glad that you're calling in from New Zealand. That makes me really happy, especially a place that I've been, because it reminds me how it's just really freaking cool to me. So glad you're here, Angela. Let's see, Christopher, some days I run. He's got his second half marathon coming up in October. That's awesome. Super excited for you, and we are cheering you on already. Let's see. Some days I lift. Should I wait for rest days to do yoga, or can I do it any day? We briefly answered this question with Angela, but if you are inspired to do it on your off days, go for it. As Kate was saying earlier, kind of listen to your body. Yoga is really great from a restorative standpoint, in that, especially if you're strength training or running, yoga can really help re-lengthen your muscles, tendons, etc., and kind of kickstart that recovery process. So yoga is fantastic on your off days. If you are so inclined and your body feels up to it, if you're interested in doing yoga on some of your training days as well, that's fine. I would just do them in the afternoon or in the evening after you've also done your other workout for the day. And only push yourself as far as you can. It doesn't, pushing yourself too far, burning yourself out, getting injured from doing too much doesn't help anybody, and it won't allow you to run that half marathon in October. So take it easy, slowly build it up, and yeah, have some fun with it, because it's fun. Next, I see Matt, Tin Man. What's up, dude? Kate.
Oh, hi, Matt.
Yes or yes, will you be leading Nerd Fitness yoga sessions at Camp Nerd Fitness?
Yep.
Yes or yes. So that is a correct. Let's keep scrolling up. Ooh, here's a great one from Zoe. Zoe, I have flat feet, and I have a lot of trouble with balancing poses. What can I do to improve my balance?
That is a great question.
That is an interesting one.
Yeah. Sorry, it's really loud for a second there. Yeah. And
Staci, I'm going to mute you while your dog plays with the bottle.
Yeah.
She's trying to get the ball from under.
Thank you.
And I think she's muted.
Okay, cool.
There we go.
I like how it says Steve muted Steven instead of...
That's really funny. Yeah, Staci's account is logged in as Nerd Fitness, which is Steve and Cam. So Steve just Steven, which is so...
That's awesome.
Okay. Anyways, Kate, continue.
Okay.
So rudely interrupted by a dog doing downward dog.
With the flat feet part, I know in the intro video we talk like a little bit about finding, like we practice balancing on our feet, and along with like the ankle mobility ones too, and I don't have like an exact answer. It would be easier for me to like, if I could see your body, I could kind of help you and see where that looks. But my answer right now is that it's starting to it's like reminding your body what it feels like to be on all different points of your feet. And so like if you walk a certain way, or like if you're programmed to be a certain way, like the balancing poses are going to feel weird because the muscles that are needed for it aren't used to doing that. And so sometimes it's like I know like I had to learn how relearn how to walk when I started doing fitness and yoga like a lot, because I was walking in a way that was hurting my left knee. And so like that's just a different example, but starting with practicing just balancing on your feet and moving back and forth and side to side and starting to train your brain and your body of what it feels like to be on all those points is going to help to create a balance over time.
Love it. Thank you, Kate. Okay, so there's a few more great questions from Staci. This your boy Legend of Sky. So he trains at Hyde Park Gym, which I've been to as well. So clearly it's got to be somebody that knows you down there in Austin. Is that where Hyde Park Gym is? Is that the one that we went to? I still have you on mute. Hold on.
I'm unmuted. I put Maddie in her crate.
This is hysterical.
Unfortunately.
Where'd it go? Lost it. Wait, hold on. I'm an elite powerlifter at Hyde Park Gym. However, I've gotten so fat that I can no longer tie my shoes. Can yoga help me get the flexibility for this, or should I just have kids so they can do it? You should definitely have kids. I would aim for twins, so that way you can have them both tie your shoes at the same time. Run errands.
And then you can all do yoga together.
Yes, and then you can do yoga together. Yes, yoga will help, as will a diet. However, as an elite powerlifter, I'm certainly not gonna jump in and tell you how to do what you're doing. But yes, yoga certainly can help with you touching your toes. I'm probably not gonna be able to help you with you having children either. But I do wish you the best of luck on that. So that's awesome. And Hyde Park Gym is freaking awesome. Is that where I did my last day at
your last day
PLP?
of your PLP? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that place is sweet.
That was fun.
That gym is awesome. Let's see. Danielle, hi from Dubai. Hello. What's up? She says, love Nerd Fitness and love that you guys do. Thanks for getting us into yoga. Danielle, that's amazing. I'm so glad that you are calling in from. I've never been to Dubai, but after watching it in Mission Impossible, Ghost Recon, is that what it was? Ghost Protocol. Ghost Recon was a Tom Clancy video game. So Ghost Protocol, Dubai, I was like, man, I really need to go here and rappel down a building like Tom Cruise. So let's see. Another great question here from Andres. Hey, Rebels. Greetings from Chile. Amazing. Thanks to you, I changed from sedentary to CrossFit 2 years long. That's awesome. Question, I am having trouble breathing, I think because the change from winter to spring. So some yoga questions. Can yoga make breathing better in WODs, aka workouts of the day? So specifically from experience, Staci, you might be able to speak more to this because I know you did CrossFit for quite a long time. I think the focus in yoga on breathing could potentially help, but I don't want to say like just do yoga and it's going to solve all of your problems. Like that is not true. Yoga is really helpful. I think it can be really beneficial for you from the to help you recover from the intense potential powerlifting or metabolic conditioning you're doing with yoga. I'm sorry, with CrossFit. Staci, what are your thoughts? I mean, is this going to help us breathing? I'd say maybe, but to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, yoga and different things. I mean, when you first start learning how to exercise, you have to learn how to breathe in general. And that is something that we kind of talked about at the very beginning of this whole thing, about just like learning your breath and learning how to breathe properly to lift and properly to do anything with your body. So yoga will help you with that part of it. If you're having breathing difficulties, it depends on what difficulties they are. Obviously, if they're serious difficulties, I would see a doctor. But if they're just like, you're doing your WOD and you're getting gassed out too easily, or you can't breathe easily because, you're going too fast, it could just be that you're not breathing correctly, and you do need to learn it, and yoga could help for that. Meditation could as well, though.
Cool. Love it.
I don't know if Kate has anything on that, but I think it's finding your breath.
The one thing I was going to say with that is, like, if it's, because you mentioned, like, changing of seasons, like, if it's an allergy thing or a sinus thing, the breathing can be not easy sometimes in yoga, too, if your nose is all stuffed up. but poses that, like any twists that we do, or anytime your like your head is below your heart so that like blood flow is reversed, like whether it's a down dog or a forward fold, it's getting all of your systems activated. So it's helping like your lymphatic system clear stuff out. It's helping, you know, your sinuses get cleared out. It's not like necessarily a cure-all, but again, doing this stuff over time in general can help to improve that, like allergies.
What you're saying is if you hang upside down, you develop superpowers.
Pretty much.
Yes. Nerd Fitness Yoga, you'll get superpowers.
Asterisk.
Done.
He just takes off flying away like, holy crap, that was amazing. That would be so cool. Let's see. So Gemma said she just bought Nerd Fitness Yoga. I forgot, she was on her lunch break in, I think, Melbourne, and she said she's sitting in the lunchroom at work on her laptop, and she just bought yoga. Not sure how they'd react if I just started doing yoga. I think you should do it anyway. Just drop down and do it, and send us a photo, because, yeah. Okay, there's a great question here from Jason. Jason, I have a boy, 6-year-old twins. Amazing. Do you think you could help the Sky Dude tie his shoes? So you have 6-year-old twins, and they both love spending time with their dad doing yoga. That is so cool. I love. Will you please send us a photo of you doing yoga with your 2 kids also doing yoga? Like that. That makes me so happy. I love. There's this really cool video that we saw earlier today where, you know, I'm going to try to write an article about it, but it's amazing how many things that we do later in our lives are a result of things that have been imprinted upon us when we were children. And for many people, that's food, that is sitting in front of a TV, playing video games, not going outside, and that's just what we were raised and born to do. For you right now, you're doing yoga with your kids at such a young age, and you might not realize it, but you're setting them on a great path to a life of activity and excitement and wanting to do things and stay physical and stay active. So that's amazing. Really happy for you and excited about it. Now into the question part of it. It says, never thought I'd be doing yoga with my kids. Thanks for that. Past couple weeks, I've noticed my back has been sore and stiff after squats. Hoping yoga can help. Advice? Staci, as somebody who loves to squat, considering you've gone small over so many times and you squat like it's your job, how is yoga going to help this gentleman with his back, lower back being sore and stiff?
Yeah, I think overall just helping stretching after your workout will help be less sore in general. And then I found that like on my off days, if I do 20 minutes of stretching, I actually try to stretch 20 minutes before bed every night. And I actually haven't tried doing one of the routines at night, but that is a really good idea. But like the yin yoga session where you're holding the poses for longer, you're holding them each for like 1 or 2 minutes each, that would really help with helping get everything looser, and that once it's looser, it won't be quite as sore.
Cool. And another thing just to keep an eye on, I mean, obviously your back is certainly going to be sore because your entire posterior chain is activated and used when you do things like squats, when you do things like deadlifts, etc. But really make sure you have proper form as well. You know, squat is one of those things, I think, in, you know, the godfather of squat, Mark Ripto, in his book Starting Strength, I think his write-up on the squat is like 75 pages. I mean, it's an exercise that some people, it's very easy for us to get wrong. You can also check out, if you just Google Nerd Fitness squat, we have a massive article on how to squat properly with links to videos and how to make so. Just double check your form, have somebody video you, have one of your children hold up your iPhone or something while you're doing a squat next time, or somebody at the gym, and make sure your form's set. And then yes, yoga can certainly help, obviously, continue to help you build up that your abdominal, lower back, you know, essentially all that core strength as well. Let's see. Plus 10 question from Chris. I'm sure it will take me forever to get through the videos you've done already, but do you think it will ever do additional videos? It's certainly possible. You know, we filmed these videos back in February, and it is now almost the end of August. The amount of work that went into these videos is unlike anything I've ever seen. Just awesome work all around from Adam Baker, our product developer on Team Nerd Fitness. He worked really closely for months on end with the videographer or the video team that did this. So we're certainly not opposed to adding videos in the future. At the moment, we're really, we're closing the doors to yoga on Friday. We want to see how people do over the next 2-3 months with yoga. Like I said, we already have 1,400 people have already signed up, and I'm excited to work with them, see how these videos how people respond to them, see how people level up their lives, as we say, over the next few months with yoga, and then we'll sit down, we'll probably survey the audience, reevaluate, and see how things go from there. But I will tell you, I've never been more proud of something that we have built as a team than I am of yoga and how it all came together. Production, professionalism in the production part of it. I was certainly not professional on the yoga shoot itself. Plenty of corny jokes to keep things light, and I had an absolute blast doing it. So I am really proud of it. I'm excited for you to get through them. And Chris, let us know how things go as you advance through the water sessions to fire up to star. This is a great question from Summer, thinking of joining Nerd Fitness Yoga. Excellent. Is it better to do a few minutes each day or longer sessions a few times each week of yoga? Summer in Seattle, which is awesome because it is also summer in Seattle during summer. There's just so many S's and so many summers at the moment. Kate, what are your thoughts on doing a few minutes of each day or longer sessions a few times a week when it comes to yoga?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that one is better than the other.
Great answer. Great answer.
I wish I know that a lot of times you want, I know I used to want someone to tell me do it this way, always do it this way, or do this way for now. If you have a few minutes, it's better to do a few minutes than nothing. If you have time to complete an entire session, the sessions are designed specifically to work all of the different muscles of the body, and they're all balanced very well, kind of on purpose and intentionally. That being said, if you have 3 minutes in the morning, do a couple of stretches, do a couple of poses, and when you can, add in the longer sessions would be my answer for that.
Great answer. One thing to add on that, it's funny, we get emails all the time from people that are like, hey man, should I do 3 sets of 8 push-ups or 4 sets of 7? I'm not going to do anything until you tell me which one to do. I'm like, dude, either one is going to work. Whether you do 4 sets of 7 or 3 sets of 8 or 5 sets of 5, they will all start to get you results. If you are an elite powerlifter, if you are a CrossFit elite competitor, if you are a professional athlete, and you're working on fractions of a percentage of body fat, or you are working on getting yourself into elite level of training, then those things matter. But if you're in the first number of years in your training, whether it's a few minutes of stretching or it's deciding which number of reps to do, pick one and then just make sure you do it a little bit better next time. If you only have a few minutes to stretch throughout the week, try to stretch just a little tiny bit further each time, and you'll definitely get results. So thank you, Summer in Seattle.
Yep, and I think Abraham's question is very similar to that. Are there any general guidelines for how long to hold the stretch to improve flexibility or achieve other goals? Is it like lifting where different rep ranges are best suited for different goals?
Let's do Mitch's question. I want to give you guys a huge thanks for all that you have done and for the community that you have built. The Nerd Fitness crew and everybody in the Rebellion is amazing. I agree. I'm so proud to be part of this community. It's really cool, and I've never expected it to become what it has become already. And I realize I end far too many emails like this, but we're literally just getting started. I don't think the sky is the limit as far as what I think Nerd Fitness as a community, as a group of people can accomplish, from improving lives to helping improve other people's lives. There's just so many different ways we can expand and as Steve Jobs would say, put our dent in the universe. So the end of this question says, now if I could just get one of you guys to follow me around and hit me when I eat bad. Yes.
If you pay me enough, I totally will.
There you go. You heard it here first, dude. Mitch, if you find out, or if you pay Kate enough money, she'll walk around and hit you whenever you eat bad things. So there you go. Now you guys just gonna work. Now it's just a matter of negotiation. Next, Sean wants to know if we can get Staci a bigger bottle. Yes, obviously the milk jug is not enough. So I'm glad we got that for her. Let's see. Margaret, awesome. Thanks for answering. Just signed up and looking forward to leveling. And the sweet yoga mat. Yeah, see, and she's coming to camp too. And this is so much fun. Oh. For those of you that aren't coming to camp, I'm really sorry, but I'm so freaking excited.
It's gonna be so much fun.
It's gonna be awesome. Rinskin, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If not, I'm so sorry. Hello from Malaysia. What? Like, it's so cool. Rebellion, Nerd Fitness Rebellion is literally worldwide. I mean, we have people coming in from Europe, Chile. We've got 4, 5. We got 5 of the 7 continents watching right now. We're missing Africa, and we're missing Antarctica, unfortunately, unless there are some penguins watching. And if so, let me know when I can come down and high-five you, because that's on my list of things to accomplish on my epic quest of awesome. So the question is, in a quick workout, you guys would recommend to work on all 4 parts: legs, push, pull, core. So if I have a short amount of time but still want to work on all parts of the body, how should I manage my yoga session? So Kate, let's say they're watching, or they buy yoga, or they don't, and they have 10 minutes, and that's all they got. If you had 10 minutes and you're busy as heck, but you wanted to stretch and get the most bang for your buck in those 10 minutes, how would you structure those 10 minutes?
Yeah, I would either do one of the shorter videos, like one of the flexibility or mobility videos, or I would do the first 10 or so minutes of any of the videos, making sure that you end where you're even on both sides.
So don't stop. Don't do all right leg things and then say, okay, I'm done.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, Riz. I'm just gonna call you Riz because that sounds like that should be your name, or your nickname anyway. So Riz, I feel like at this point we're tight. I'll let you know when I'm coming to visit you in Malaysia. But when that does happen, a 10-minute stretching workout. I'm sorry, a 10-minute stretching routine can involve some of the, like, if you go back to, there's an article I put up on Nerd Fitness even 2 weeks ago. It's like try yoga today. It was like 5 or 4 movements that you can start with. I think it was like 2 minutes for each of them. So if you do those 4 movements, and it was like downward dog, lunge maybe, and then shoot, I can't remember. I think there was. Anyways, if you go back to Nerd Fitness, go to nerdfitness.com. It was like the 3rd article. Not maybe last week or the week before, but it was like 4 poses you can do to get started with yoga today. There's actually a mini yoga routine in there that you can follow and should get you through 5, 10 minutes, 8 minutes at the most. So hopefully that gets you going. Jonathan says he's crushing on Staci, and there's 5 pluses. So Staci, you have a lot of admirers tonight, both for your traps and your powerlifting and the rest of you apparently. So great work. Continue to
sure it's Maddie and her toga.
Let's see. Sitting at my laptop. Oh, wait. Oh, Jason says, my son did his first pull-up tonight, starting them off young in the rebellion. Yes.
Amazing.
That makes me so happy. So yes, rebels, young rebels, rebel juniors. I don't know. I'll have to come up with a term for kid rebels. Rebel kid. I'll work on it. I'll come up with something really clever and probably stupid. I'll get to work on that immediately. Let's see. Margaret. Oh, it's hi, Queens from New York. Hi. Thank you for allowing me to inhabit your wonderful city. I am excited to be here. We got Tammy in Oregon. Mitch says that you're hired, Kate. So yes. I'm not sure for how much amount, but he already said you're hired, so I think the negotiation is strongly tipped in your favor at this point.
Perfect.
Let's see. Let's see.
Also, we're at 10 o'clock right now.
Oh, okay. So I see like one last question from Greg, but then we can go ahead and call it. Greg checking in from Western Canada. Awesome. I know we have a few Canadians here. Pretty sure Nerd Fitness Yoga has encouraged me to sign up for the rest of the fitness package too, which I'm assuming he means is the Nerd Fitness Academy. Great job. I got my rear kicked by the water session yesterday. So water session is, again, the beginner level of workout, but I'm really glad that was challenging for you. It certainly was for us too when we filmed it, and I felt pretty good about it. So let's see. That is the last official question. Let's see. Yeah, so at this point, guys, I'll just give you like a quick shout out. Oh, I see Drag from just finished a 3-month cross-country trip and planning a trip for Europe. I love you. Because of your life, I got into reading Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week, which is actually what got me started on my incredible journey as well. So glad to hear that things have gone well for you. Appreciate you watching and checking in. And guys, that is going to officially wrap it up for tonight. I'll just give you a quick lowdown on Nerd Fitness Yoga. I'd love for you guys to check it out. Honestly, it is. If you go to yoga.nerdfitness.com or just go to nerdfitness.com and click on the little yoga sidebar graphic and check it out. There's a video of me walking through the entire product, and yes, it is also full of corny jokes. On top of that, it's something that I think is going to help a lot of people. Again, I've never seen such an overwhelming response to a product before, and I'm not just saying that because, well, I guess because we haven't launched anything in 2 years. This is the first new thing we've really put out in 2 years. But just a quick look at the Facebook page for the Nerd Fitness Yoga community that has already popped up has been so cool to watch, because everybody is getting started for the first time, or people that are saying they've done yoga before and it was the perfect amount of challenge. People that were saying they were skeptical got excited about it. So, you know, people always yell at me, especially I have other friends that do online businesses, and they always yell at me for not selling harder. And I'm like, that's not really my thing. I would love for you guys to check it out. If you decide it's for you, go for it. If you decide that Nerd Fitness Yoga isn't for you, that's totally fine too. I hope you keep reading. We're going to still have 2 free articles every week. The message boards will stay free. We're going to keep coming up with more stuff. We have some really cool announcements coming up, both free and premium products and things like that. But the future is bright. I feel really good about where we are as a community. I feel really good about where we are as a team at Nerd Fitness too. And Kate, I just want to say thanks to you for being such a cool part of this and becoming our lead yoga person for the Rebellion. I think it's going to be pretty cool for you at camp to have all these people mobbing you saying like, oh, by the way, I've been doing yoga and I've been watching all these fun videos and now I am way more flexible, and you guys can high five like behind your heads or in some incredibly flexible way, because you're both really flexible at that point.
It'll be like the Ninja Turtles like foot 5.
Yes.
We can all just like high kick foot 5.
As long as you say cowabunga.
Duh.
Duh. That's awesome. So yeah, that's it. Again, it's yoga.nerdfitness.com. Doors are open until Friday at midnight, 11:59 Eastern. Right, Staci? Not midnight. Not 1 minute later, although it'll probably be. Don't tell anyone. But yeah, we're gonna shut it down on Friday. I'm excited to watch and see how people do over the next few months with it, and then we'll open up doors later on this year. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any more questions, you can email us at yoga@nerdfitness.com about the product specifically, and we'll see you on the message boards. We'll see you on the Facebook page. We'll see you on Twitter. We will see you at the next crazy one of these things that we decide to put together. So thanks so much for watching. For those of you that are in random time zones or it's way too late for you or way too early, thank you for coming. And for those of you that are here in America, thanks for coming too. It's so cool to be able to do these things and interact with you and be able to answer questions and have some fun with it too. So thanks for hanging out, guys, and we will catch you later.
Bye.